Hello, everyone. Today I've got Chris Troka with me, and he has many things going on. He has his own podcast as well, which we will get into, but a really cool marketing business, and then DJing, primarily weddings, I hear. So we're gonna get him to tell us a bit more about that and his journey to get there, which is always fun to hear, how people got from point A to point B. And he sounds like he's got a C and D worked in there. There's many points in his journey, and then some goals and visions going forward, because entrepreneurs never stop. There's always another goal, another vision, and tips and tricks for you guys out there looking to get into some of these things. And then at the end, I'm turning it over to Chris. He's going to ask me a question. So stay tuned for that. We'll see what he asks. But for now, Chris, take it away. Tell us a bit about what you're up to.
Megan, thanks so much for having me on. Really appreciate it. So my journey started maybe 10 years ago. My boss's boss asked if I still had the equipment from the band days, the sound and lighting. I said, yes. Great. Can you use a laptop and DJ for my friend's wedding? Make some announcements. Sure. Why not? So I tried it. It went really great. That turned into an idea where, hey, I could get paid money for this. So I started to treat it like a business while working full time in a home care nonprofit space. I was doing the Meals on Wheels program, final hours. So it was a great opportunity to learn more about that corporate world, nonprofits, and volunteer programs, and then taking that into the DJ world. I did some birthdays and anniversaries. Then we went into weddings, niched down and specialized. And then we added on some photo booths and scaled our DJ team. So that turned into my 6-figure-a-year business that I started 10 years ago, started part-time, built my way working full and part-time jobs in between to supplement, and finally went full-time in 2020. Obviously, COVID hit, so I had to get through that year, but 21 and beyond came back even stronger. And during that time, COVID was when I was finishing my marketing degree. And I said, you know what? I've been doing my own business. I've been helping friends and family. Let's turn that into another income opportunity for myself. So I started doing marketing, automation, techy stuff for everybody. And that's just been an incredible journey, kind of learning more about that. The podcast was a natural progression. I wanted to talk about sales, business, and marketing with my buddy who was an entrepreneur at the time. And then we started inviting guests, and then it turned into something even bigger. So just been this incredible journey of, the ups and downs, successes and failures. And just a part of that whole journey, I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world.
Yeah. And like you said, it's always a journey. So for the beginning piece, tell us a bit more about that. Like, so you had the idea, where did the like knowledge and the logistics and the idea to be like, yeah, let's go, let's roll with this instead of working the 9 to 5?
Right. Yeah. So I think it started earlier on where I kind of got a little taste of the entrepreneurial experience through being in a band. We would work with other venues and vendors to potentially work out some events or gigs, working and networking with bands, trying to manage a team of 5 people with different motivations and time schedules was this balance. But that taught me a lot of the skills going into the working world. Every job I've worked, I've always tried to leave it better than I found it, bring some new creative ideas. The first job, I was washing dishes at a pizza restaurant. I worked there for about 5 years and kind of climbed up the ladder there. But he was struggling with sales. He couldn't get people into his dining room restaurant. This was like 2007, 2008 era. So there was a retraction in the economy. So I decided, why don't we have my band come play at this pizza restaurant? Let's move the tables and start a show. So I invited the other high school bands, and we made actually $1,000 every night selling tickets and having a pizza buffet. It was a great space and idea that turned into something that was profitable. So that was kind of that first inkling into entrepreneurship, the music scene, and just through working full time, I just could never make enough money. I was always struggling, and I hated having to punch a time clock for someone else. And I felt like my skills and assets were being used for someone else's benefit. All the other places were always telling me, you need a degree to advance, or we can give you the job, but we can't give you the title or the pay, but you can do the same work. Not that that was so absolutely crazy and bonkers to me. So that was me just absolutely despising 9 to 5 lifestyle. I prefer second shift and having the time and assets that I invest to come back for myself. And it's proven to be a worthwhile investment. It took a while, but that's a part of the journey. You can have whatever sense of success that you want for yourself, whether that's, I just want some side income or some extra fun money, or I want to take this to 6 figures or 7 figures and beyond. But that's a part of the journey. That was kind of how it started. And then just my hatred for the 9 to 5 lifestyle, I just couldn't do that anymore. So I got into entrepreneurship and said, let me really, really focus on building this as a business, and it turned into a great success. So I'm so grateful for that.
At what point along the way did you give up the 9 to 5? So you were smart. You stayed in your 9 to 5 whilst you were building your business. And then at a certain point, like what was it like that stage of grasping that you could go solo and give up the comfortable 9 to 5 safety check?
Yeah, I had dreamed about it and thought about it and tried it and failed a few times and had to go back to work. First was in 2015, leaving my home care hospice company, the nonprofit world. I was actually working full time. Had to travel 50 minutes to work and then from work, so about 2 hours. Plus, I was on call in the evenings to provide scheduling support for our final hours program. So while I was working 40 hours on call, nights and weekends, I was also DJing and trying to manage all that. So I put in 60 to 80 hours during that time. I left that position, coasted for a bit, went to a part-time job managing a bar and restaurant. From there, just did part-time work. I went to full-time 19 momentarily until COVID changed the game. I was only working full-time for about 3 months, but that was that perfect transitory period where I tried the full-time, I tried the part-time. I knew if I really focused and dedicated my time to it, that I could turn that into a successful venture that could support myself full time. And that's what it turned into. Thankfully, I raised prices, I advertised more, I really treated it like a business, and that took me to new heights.
And you said you did a marketing degree. Is that kind of where that came into the picture?
Absolutely. It originally had this great opportunity while I was working part-time and running my business. The community college said, hey, if you apply to come to our school and whatever the state tuition grant assistance doesn't cover, we'll cover the rest of the tuition. You just pay for your books. And I was like, wow, this sounds like a great opportunity. But the only deal is you have to do really well and graduate. Otherwise, you have to pay all the money back. So I said, wow, this is a great opportunity. And I was at the time, do you remember that boss's boss who said, hey, come do my friend's wedding? She left that company we were working with to start her own marketing agency. So she hired me on as an assistant to assist her marketing clients as well, bringing both my business acumen that I had. And that kind of was the fire to specialize more in marketing. I went back to school to start with business, but halfway through I said, business is great, but in order to have a successful business, you need to be good at sales and marketing. So I said, that's the specialty that I want to go into. So that's when I eventually switched that major into more of the marketing focus. But it was the original marketing agency from my boss's boss that gave me that idea. And I just fell in love with it ever since. This was the only topic or position or industry that the thought of continuing education didn't completely destroy my will to live. And, usually it's like more work, more education. I hate that. But marketing, I can't get enough. Like it's so exciting. It's so cool. There's new things coming. And those things I enjoy learning.
Tell us a bit more about that broad picture, what you learned.
Absolutely. So marketing in a general sense is kind of how you put yourself out there as a business, who you are, your audience, your offer, your messaging, the solution that you provide to a certain problem. A lot of people think of marketing as a paid media. So Facebook, maybe TV or radio spots. Yes, that's marketing, but there is so much more into marketing that I think a lot of people overlook. So this is everything from that moment a person lands onto your website to the experience of finding the information, filling out a form, or taking the next logical steps through their buyer's journey. That entire experience is a part of that journey of the marketing sales funnel. So each piece needs to be examined and really considered when you're looking to build a business that wants to scale and grow successfully. So it's kind of putting all these elements together, the communication pieces, the visual elements, the experience that the customer has, the follow-up and the nurturing. This is, I think, marketing. A lot of people can have a negative connotation. There's a study from HubSpot that said marketers are the second least trusted position out there, and the least trusted was a politician. So we're only a notch above a politician, and that isn't great. So it's kind of like we need to set a higher standard for ourselves and the work that we do. We don't want to come off as spam. We don't want to be intrusive. We're not here to bully you into buying a product or service. This is more about crafting an offer in a compelling way that resonates with an audience in a way that we're happy to put the work out there and we can sleep at night with the work that we're putting out there to the world.
And that's kind of leading into just the kind of when I was looking into marketing, it was like, this is the cookie cutter way to do it. Whereas your world, it's more like, who's this business? Who do they want to be? What do they want to put out there in the world? Because I guess what we're learning in social media is that you can find your people anywhere. There's so many little niches, and like me in my world, there will be only so many people that will be crazy aligned with certain parts of my life. Whereas you can go online and you can find those people. They just maybe spread across the world of like some little thing that you're very interested in. Like, tell me a bit more about that instead of like the broad appealing to everyone, to focusing on the interesting few that really align with something.
Absolutely. So a great example of this was me niching down with my DJ business. So originally this was just birthdays and anniversaries. Yes, I did one wedding, but really not experienced enough to call myself a wedding DJ. They didn't have the traditional wedding elements, and I sure as heck was not going to go charge money just to mess up a performance like that. So that's not fun. But to kind of further deepen it, it's more about, ideally, who do you like to work with? Who enjoys your services the most? And we found that after doing a few weddings, they were so appreciative of what we were bringing to the table. And we were offering a unique solution where there was a problem in the market we didn't even realize existed until the clients were actually telling us. So we heard from them that other DJs would not accept song requests, or they were not open to custom music from the couple or the client. And I thought that was absolutely crazy. So I thought, if I can bring my customer service and my ability to play whatever music you want, wow, that could solve a huge problem. And it proved to be successful. For our instance, it was a great idea to niche down because the wedding market was actually the highest pay compared to corporate events. That's the next evolution. But weddings, great pay for the work that's involved. If you can be organized and personable, you're going to do great in this business. But it's important for any business to really understand, look at your past clients. What worked well for them? What demographics, what challenges and pain points did you kind of solve for them? With that, you can kind of realize, okay, I can craft an offer and a message specific to an audience, and these audiences exist everywhere. You can either be pretty broad, you can cast a wide net, or do you prefer to fish with more of a sniper laser focus? Do you want to hone in on exactly who you want to serve? Because when you cast that wide net, you're going to catch a few fish, rocks, or plants that aren't useful to you, and you have to throw them away. You have to sift through them, and you would hate to nurture or try to care for all of those. Why not focus in on the right fish, on the right person, on the right market? So you can be a bit more effective. And I think that translates better into the content that you produce for your website, into the videos, into the social media. And that just becomes a part of your brand. And suddenly people start recognizing you and knowing you for working with this group or helping these types of people. And those people know a lot more of those people. So when I started with a dentist, got more referrals for that or for this area in this industry. So I think it's just a testament for knowing when to niche down. It can be helpful, but sometimes you just offer such a great product and solution. It helps so many people. You can't possibly narrow your focus too much. So it's a balance for the business owner. Find what works for you, but kind of use all those elements to keep that into consideration.
That makes total sense. That's a great description. And I also really like how you added in the part about, who do you love to work with? Like, this is your daily, what you're doing in life. Like, find the people that you love to work with and light you up. Like, it's not just all about the money.
Yes, yes. I agree because unfortunately, when we're first starting a business, we have more time than money and we're trying to chase leads and just get any client we can so we can get a little bit of revenue. And I've been there and I get that. But unfortunately, it's not a long-term strategy that you can stick with. And when you start to realize, okay, there's people who, one, appreciate and value the work that I do, and they're most grateful to have the work done for them. Wow, I want those people in my life all the time. So that's who I want to work with. But over time, that experience, you start to dial that in. And suddenly you're surrounding yourself with ideal clients, and the solution suddenly fits the problem that they're having.
And that's it. So you've
Mm-hmm.
done a lot so far between your podcast, marketing, and everything. Where's your next steps taking you?
It's so crazy, right? It's funny because a year or two ago, I never would have imagined I'd be where I am today and where that kind of evolution goes. Right now, I'm focused more on gaining more speaking engagements. I was just asked to speak on technology and AI for nonprofits in April for a virtual summit. So that'll be April 16th. Very excited about that. Meeting a lot of people. So I get to teach nonprofits how they can use things like ChatGPT, AI agents, AI employees to benefit their nonprofit. and finding that balance between, how can we use technology without losing that human element to it? Because a lot of these nonprofits, they're working with lower budgets, they're trying to do a lot of good, and they're relying sometimes on community support or sponsors and donors or volunteers even. So it's important not to lose that human one-on-one connection, but definitely use these systems to automate the experience and everything that you manage and organize for your nonprofit and your business. It's just going to help you level up and allow you to free up that time to focus more on the individual, on the person. You can work on your business instead of in your business.
That's kind of it. And that's the game. Like, how do you work on like having fun in your business instead of doing all the hard stuff? And like that is a very different, like the AI stuff from the other things that you've been doing. How did you learn that? Where did your wisdom on that front? And I guess the other question is like not for profits. That is a really fun niche as well to be working with. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of getting into the AI and the software, this was just a part of me being within a network of other business owners who are doing kind of similar things. We have different offers, different niches, but we're all there to kind of support and share knowledge with each other. That group was, I'm sure you've heard of, a lot of popular CRMs out there, maybe like a Go High Level. Well, we found a team of developers that were building something similar, and this was kind of our introduction into CRM and ARI. And I've used HubSpot before and Constant Contact. All of these are fantastic systems. All of them are introducing AI because it can be a really, really cool tool. But just kind of being a part of the business groups, being involved more in technology and software, I think I myself realized how much time I could save by implementing AI. So last month, I created a year's worth of social media content using ChatGPT. Now, a lot of people think, okay, just give it a prompt, maybe an example, and it'll spit an output. These AI tools now have access to other tools. So I asked ChatGPT, let's take this a step further. Don't just give me the content. I would like a date and time between February 2025 and December 25 in column A. Just give me a random time when we can post these. I need the text in column B. I'll need the keyword in column C and provide this in D. ChatGPT will create a custom Excel spreadsheet that I just took over to my social media scheduling platform. And then I bulk uploaded into Canva. So I bulk uploaded content using the creative copy used from ChatGPT. And then the Excel spreadsheet became an instant scheduling tool for me. So it's like, yes, that was a huge time saver. What would it take to accomplish all that social media or any piece of content, any brainstorming, creative content? We have AI listening to our meetings to provide a summary and action plan after. So there's a lot of great ways that AI is being introduced. It's being used for businesses, helping remove a lot of the friction in the buyer's journey. And that's how we're helping them. Specifically for nonprofits, this was a space just working in the medical field first, and then going into the home care hospice space. I've been approached to both sit on a board of directors for a local fundraiser here. I unfortunately couldn't commit to the time, but I did join the fundraising board. So I'm still able to implement a lot of the outreach marketing system strategies that I help other businesses with, but helping the nonprofit, it just seems like a great fit. One, I can feel good about the work that I'm doing, that it's going towards something that's positive and beneficial for the community. And it gets to showcase my work. Like, when you think AI, you think the least human, most robotic thing. AI is, not human at all. But there's ways we can incorporate that into the human element to make connections, to make introductions, to help, share the story and to help capture and upsell more donations. So these are all ways that we can be using the technology and tools for nonprofits and for a lot of other businesses too. It's just finding a use case on where we can make it fit.
Is really cool. And I like the human but not human aspect. Sometimes that, like, there's a fear factor in that, but also really appreciative. Because I know for me, like, one of the biggest difference it's made recently is I do these podcasts, I hear some really cool stories, and I want that connection to also be in a blog. SEO purposes, I'm learning these things. So I hear the blogs are great. So I was like, great, I want this transcript to be turned into a blog. And the fact that I can upload that transcript and upload their socials and say, make me a blog, and then like tweak it and change it. and like train ChatGPT of like, no, I literally said, no, you're mansplaining. This is a terrible blog. I wanted to like really touch hearts. And I really want like you to bring these factors of connection and like the amazingness that people are. And like, I would like quotes in this that's taken directly from the transcript and like really make these people shine in their stories. And reading back on the blog posts they created, like I was the one interviewing and like I'm tearing up listening, like reading these quotes and things that they've taken. I'm like, damn, ChatGPT, like you were very good. Like I appreciate what you were capable of, and it's almost alarming.
Yes, yes. The AI and tools out there are crazy, crazy good. So to hear how you're implementing it for your podcast is fantastic. Think about all the hours you're saving because you have that available, or just how much more content you're able to put out there that you might not even bother to put out there. Okay, rewriting a blog post for a video I already had. That's another hour at a minimum. But when you can use ChatGPT to take the resources you have already and, hey, let's not reinvent the wheel here. It's kind of like having the internet at our fingertips. No longer do we have to drive to a library or just wonder if we're right or wrong about something or be interested in a subject. We can actually find information about it. And now these AI tools, ChatGPT, LLMs, Claude, Gronk, they're all great tools for leveling up your business, doing more with what little that we have available to us, and just kind of catching up to where a lot of the big box companies are. It's no mystery that they really have kind of a foothold on, capitalize the markets. They've, captured regulatory. I mean, they have as much of an upper hand that they need. It's time to let these small solo business entrepreneurs get a taste of what that's like to have this full system working for them, behind them, with them, instead of, trying to compete with these big box companies that have access to all these resources already.
That's a really cool point that like ChatGPT basically gives you a whole team of people in one. I mean, if you get you can send it unlimited messages. Like it's not that expensive. It's like 20, $30 a month. And like it gives you a whole team. And I like that you say like it lets you compete. It's it takes it out of it being a cheating factor in some ways. It's like instead of
Yes.
you cheating and you using this like crutch, you're actually getting this whole host of wisdom from all of these people. It came from somewhere, I suppose. But like you have it at it's like having a whole desk of people around you that can help you and support you. And even just the things that have been done of this is my goal, this is where I'm at, give me a plan of from this day to that day what I need to do every day to get there. Like it's crazy what's possible.
Yes, just the action items and strategy that I'm able to have conversations with ChatGPT when I'm lacking some clarity and direction in anything. It can give me some new ideas. It's referencing past conversations, so it knows that I'm working with this ideal client profile, or these are the services that I offer. It's funny, I'll revisit ChatGPT for a little bit, and I'll ask, hey, what's a good lead magnet I should craft and put out there for my audience right now. Sometimes ChatGPT will be a little bit sassy, and he'll come back and say like, well, you could start that lead magnet you talked about 6 months ago, or you could try this new idea. But it's always fun working with them because it's a great tool. It's a great resource. And if you're not liking the output that the AI is giving you, one, you have to realize that the human input, the end result can be human reviewed. You can change it. Also, change your prompting. Give the AI an example of what you're hoping for. So a writing style, give it a few examples of what that output might look like. And it's going to have a much better understanding of what you're looking for your end result. And I find that just refining those prompts can be very helpful. And once you kind of get an end result you like, ask ChatGPT to give you what prompt it should want for itself. It will give you its own prompt to say, okay, this is my understanding from this conversation and the output. This is what I would want as an input, as training data to use for future bots. So this is great if you're going from ChatGPT over to another LLM or another service. Maybe you're hosting DeepSeek locally, but this allows you to use different tools and take a prompt and training data and use AI to give you a better prompt.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And that's kind of the way of knowledge and the way of just kind of knowing how to use it. And for me, leadership wise, I've got a virtual assistant who's from the Philippines and I've led like construction projects in Honduras mountains, but I've never led anything like a business and all of these nuances and things that even I don't understand. Kind of ChatGPT was a fun, like, being a leader and being clear in my instructions. I was like, okay, you need this like beautifully almost like stupid level laid out for you. Like it just really kind of honed in my like taking out the extra words, being very clear and very simple and straightforward. It's like
Yes.
you don't bullshit around with ChatGPT. You don't have to be nice as I say please and thank you to ChatGPT. I do.
Just in case, you never know, right?
Never know. But it really was great at cutting down my language and being really clear and precise in what I wanted and not assuming that they knew new things.
Yes, absolutely. It's great for helping us be better leaders and communicators, to just be a bit more concise in a lot of our communication. I've definitely been guilty of that. But also, ChatGPT and similar LLMs can be predictive when you're asking for some sort of output, some sort of product end result. It's almost thinking 10 steps ahead for you. It's like, okay, I see you're building this. Would you like me to build out the script for this, or maybe like a storyline on how you'd like to create this? So I asked for some topic ideas to create for YouTube videos, and it gave me these ideas. And then it said, hey, would you also like a script or a storyline for this? And would you like some YouTube video channel ideas? So it's crazy to know that these LLMs and these tools have access to the content and the forethought to kind of understand where we're trying to head with a certain prompt or direction.
That is exactly it. So, other than asking ChatGPT, do you yourself have any advice for entrepreneurs who are looking to do some of the things that you're up to in the world?
Yes, absolutely. So, fortunately, there's tons of videos and resources available on YouTube Academy. I'm also putting some videos out there as well on how I automate and use AI for social media content, how I build some of my AI agents. So it's great to be able to showcase that to the world, but just know that there's resources available out there for everyone to learn more about how businesses are using a lot of these tools and software to better their businesses. So for those who just kind of want to get started, ask ChatGPT, how can I use AI for my business? I can give you a list of some ideas. Some of the top ones that a lot of our clients are most appreciative of is the customer service aspect. So we have chat widgets and chat bots that can provide contextual answers based on the user and your website and your training data. So it's cutting down on a lot of that customer service downtime there. And then just the way that we capture and nurture leads now, we have these AI agents who can be smart in capturing the leads and then nurturing them based on their buyer's journey. Most notably for like a dentist office, they're usually open 8 to 5 during the week, and maybe they have a Friday or a Monday off with their schedule. That's pretty common. So there could be, a period of 15 hours to 3 days where a potential lead or prospect may not even hear back from their office. So it's just using the AI tools to kind of fill in the gaps where humans can't fit right now, or it's just too expensive to, or just kind of like use ChatGPT to give you ideas to do more, produce more content, more social media, more script writing, review this meeting, give me a summary, compile this structure together. It's pretty incredible to have all these tools at our disposal in this day and age. The past 3 to 4 years with AI have just been a whirlwind, but I'm so excited to kind of keep my ear to the ground with new advances and new tools and just all the exciting updates and technology.
And what are some of the biggest tools? Like, so there's ChatGPT, but you were talking about some other things. What are some other ones that you would push people towards?
Absolutely. So it's going to depend on the use case and what people are looking for. So one, ChatGPT has a few different training models. They just released 4.5. 4.5 is supposed to have more advanced deep research ability and access to tools, but it's also more expensive. We went from a cost from maybe 2 cents per million tokens to now $75 per million tokens. So it's just an incredible leap. So people are looking for more affordable, accessible models. A big disruption to the space is DeepSeek from China. This was a open source platform for people worried about sending their data to China. DeepSeek is available as a locally hosted software. So if you have a decent gaming computer with a graphics card, you can run your own LLM locally. I use a tool through Pinocchio to run local LLMs and image prompts. So I have my own little image generator to make all my fun cat pictures that I want for the internet. So yeah, there's depends on your use case. Claude is great for coding. If you're looking for more advanced website coding and just coding or gaming code in general, that's a great way to go. I just saw someone create their own little the video game using AI, just coded with AI. They didn't have any coding experience, and they created that. Grok is surprisingly good. That Grok is from X. They have made way more advancements in their model. It seems to be less restrictive. So people are kind of breaking into the back end systems of the models and making it do or say things that are obviously against this training data. But that's another one if you kind of like testing the boundaries, if you want a Wild West LLM. We also have ones internally. We have Copilot through Microsoft. That's just another great assistant. We have Gemini now through Google. So Gemini is great for, being a personal assistant. But I think it's just about the use cases. Look up these names, see what they're good for, what conversations are happening in the community to decide what tool do I want to use today. It's kind of like having all these tools in a toolbox. You don't always reach for the wrench. The wrench isn't always the best tool for the job. Sometimes you need a hammer. So feel free to put those tools in your toolbox, research them so that way you can pull them out and use them at the right moment.
I will definitely be looking some of those up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, check them out. Yeah.
And it's fun hearing advice from people because sometimes there's way too many options and you don't know what to choose. So it's really great, at least for me, having someone who's like, these are some of the ones I recommend, some of the ones that I've heard really good things about.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for that. Question for me. Do you have one today?
I do. So what ways are you implementing AI and technology for your business? And I know you mentioned the podcasting already, but the biggest question I usually have is what's been most effective for you for building your business when it comes to marketing? Are you running paid ads? Is it, you're doing blogs now, the podcasting? What's kind of working for you to build your book of business?
That is a great question. So at the moment, we have the website that's kind of, I'm not good at niching down at all.
That's okay.
Like my business is around, it's called Support to Thrive. It's got a bunch of different resources for businesses. So I think at the moment we're building kind of a funnel for each different resource that we offer. So kind of as I was saying, it's great to have someone who says these are kind of the great tools that work. It's kind of a resources hub that says these are some of the ones that people are raving about and are tried and true. So I might be adding some of yours onto there. But like it's the AI helps me at the moment most, probably with content, with the podcasting journey. There's someone I've been partnering with called Podcast Launch AI. And the fact that I can basically upload my podcast and then they do transcript, they even do all my shorts. And then they rate the shorts based on what they think will do well. So it's like 95% likely to do well and then like goes like down from there. And you can choose like short ones, medium length ones, long ones. And like you can kind of be like, great, here's all my shorts. And on top of that, for LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever, Instagram, TikTok, it'll give you a description for that individual platform. So
because each one has their own character limits and, audiences.
So for YouTube, it'll be like a bigger description with their title. And the fact that I can just get my virtual assistant to plug that in, like his English doesn't have to be great. He doesn't have to like make all of these things up. It can literally give him the short, the title, the everything for that short, for all the social media stuff. And I am using Go High Level. So he can just go to the calendar and schedule it out there for months in advance. And like the fact that like someone who doesn't have great English, he can just do all of my social media. He doesn't have to go edit it, like maybe listen to it, see if it's like a good fit. But basically all the ones I've heard are they're pretty spot on.
Yes.
So that has been pretty massive that I can just plug it in and it takes it. And that also puts it out to the social, like all of the podcasting sites and
that handles a lot of the communication and the scheduling as well, right? Like that's all integrated into the system.
That's it.
Man, that is so cool. So convenient. I love when, businesses can create this product that kind of is your one stop shop. It's we serve all. This is kind of our focus and how we help people. I don't even blame you for not niching down, because you have so many great products and services available, and like each business is a little bit different. But I do like the idea of maybe we'll list an industry and here's some of the things that are, 95% of each, business in this industry use these services. So maybe we recommend it towards you, but you know, here's the plethora of everything we have available. Don't leave any stone unturned, because it's like once we have a great client, they like working with us, we want to help them in any way we can. So I love that, that's your focus as well, as so don't get bogged down by niching down.
But that's also the fun with the AI chatbot is I love a business to come and be like, this is what I have. Tell me which resources I should use. And the AI can scan my website and be like, this is what you qualify for. Go. Here's the link
Yes.
for the different like information about it and the form to fill out. Like, go get signed up. So
Yes, it is crazy, crazy for the customer service experience, just to be able to open up a chatbot and ask any question, and it knows exactly what you need or where you need it, where to find it. Because us humans, it would take us a few minutes to really find that resource, finding the wrong articles, but AI makes it easier. It's less than 5 to 10 seconds to return that result. That's incredible.
it's pretty amazing. And where can people find you, Chris?
Absolutely. So people can just go to Google or search my name online, Chris Troka, Troka. I'm available on LinkedIn, Facebook, a lot of popular places. My website here is going to be focus-biz.com. And our podcast name is Brainwork Framework. Would love to have people check out the sessions and watch more of your sessions as well, because I've seen a lot of the experts that have come on, and it's some great resources, some great information. So make sure you check out Support to Thrive as well.
Thank you very, very much. It was great having you on here today, Chris, and we will be in touch.
Sounds good, Megan. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Cheers.